Idioms! You know, there are hundreds of videos on YouTube about idioms, and pretty much all of them, including mine, will tell you that when you're down you feel under the weather, or maybe when you're really happy you're feeling over the moon. Today I want to teach you some things which are a bit different, but they're really common. They're used a lot, they're used in daily life, and you never know when you might need to use one of these idioms. So these are used by native British speakers. The other thing I want to mention is I don't teach anything outdated. I'm sorry guys, but it's not raining cats and dogs anymore. It really isn't. Also, that new car you bought, it probably didn't cost an arm and a leg. Yes, it was probably very expensive, but we just don't really say that much anymore. Now, how do I know that these idioms I'm going to teach you today are common, are used a lot? Well, I'll give you the answer. I'm one of those sad people who goes around with a notebook, and every time that somebody says an idiom or an expression, I think, oh, that will be great for a YouTube video, and I write it down. So let's go. Let's start talking about idioms. I want to start with my favorite idiom. The reason why it's my favorite is because I say it all of the time. It can be said in two different ways. To take it as it comes, or to cross that bridge when we come to it. I say this all the time, probably because I'm just a really chilled out person. I'm always really relaxed about things. You know, my wife, yes, she's my wife now, I'm married, I know that sounds weird, but anyway, my wife, God, I'm getting old. If we're talking about something, maybe a big plan we have, something which is about to happen in our lives, you know, she might start worrying about it, might worry about, what if that happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? Oh, and you know, you could die. And I'm the kind of person who just says, you know what? We don't know what will happen. We have to just wait and see. So we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. We'll worry about this problem, we'll deal with this problem when it happens. We'll take it as it comes, meaning we'll take this, whatever happens, and we'll deal with it when it comes to us. Now for this next idiom, again, I'm going to give you a bit of backstory. Now I remember a time when I was a child in school. I was probably about 11, 12 years old, and we were in a school assembly. This is where all the school gathers together and we watch the head teacher kind of share some stories and things like that. Now I was right at the front, sat next to my best friend, and I was finding it really hard to keep a straight face. To keep a straight face means to not laugh, kind of trying to contain yourself from laughing or reacting to something. And this is because my head teacher, he had his flies undone. Flies are the zipper on your trousers. He had his flies undone. He'd obviously probably been for a wee-wee before he did his speech, and he'd left his flies undone. Not only this, but his tie was poking through the flies, and it was very, very funny as a 11, 12-year-old child. In fact, it would probably still be funny now, to be honest. Anyway, I couldn't keep a straight face. I actually ended up getting in trouble because I couldn't stop laughing. So I couldn't keep a straight face. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. This is just a way of showing that you don't trust somebody. So for example, Boris Johnson, we see him on the TV, our Prime Minister, COVID, oh, Brexit, ugh. And you know, I think he's trying hard, he's doing a lot of work. We're not going to get political here, although he looks like he's trying very hard. But you know what? I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Anyone, any human is heavy. We can't really throw a human really far. Well, you could if it was a baby, but that would be very dangerous, and don't do that, please. But you know, we can't throw people very far. So you wouldn't trust them that distance, that far, as far as you could throw them, meaning basically you just don't trust them. You definitely do not trust this person. Next, OTT, or over the top. So we do shorten this when we're speaking. We could say, oh, that's a bit OTT. Let's say we have a friend who likes to dress quite eccentrically. He likes to wear colourful clothes. You know, I could be describing this friend, this person I know, and I could say, you know, he dresses very differently. For me, it's a bit OTT. Or for me, it's a bit over the top, meaning a bit too much. So something over the top is just something that's maybe a bit extreme, a bit too far for someone. Now, for the next one, I'm going to give you another example. I have a friend who, he's a very, touchy person, meaning he likes to touch people a lot. You know, he'll laugh and he'll touch your hand. Or he'll grab your arm and things like that. Now, he does this a lot to people, male, female, anyone. He's just very confident, and this is how he communicates and gets his point across. And again, you could say this is a bit over the top. But when he does this, people can get the wrong end of the stick. The wrong end of the stick, meaning the wrong idea. They can assume the wrong thing. So sometimes people get the wrong end of the stick. They get the wrong idea and they think that maybe he's flirting or he likes them in that way. So it can be a bit awkward. Excuse my French. Now this one could be a Frenchive? No, this could be offensive. If you take it the wrong way, but it's just an old-fashioned phrase which still gets used quite a lot. And we say it, excuse my French, but, and then usually what we'll do is we'll say a very bad word, like a swear word. Now the historical background behind excuse my French is actually literal. It's from the 19th century. So when English people used French, they might say, excuse my French, and it's mainly just to say sorry because you may not understand the French word I'm going to use or the French language I'm going to use while I'm speaking. So it was a way of being polite and apologizing. And slowly over the years this has changed and it's now become a way of apologizing for swearing. Now, I know loads of French people and I know that they're very laid back about this expression, the people I know. Obviously, some people may be offended by this, some French people, I'm sorry about that, or French speakers, but most people I know are actually kind of cool with this expression because it's fun. Excuse my French, but that meal was shit. It takes two to tango. Now, I think this is probably quite common in other languages as well. It means it takes two people to have an argument, to argue. To give you an idea, I went to visit my parents the other day and my dad was having an argument with my mum. It wasn't serious, but she had told him to go to the shops to go and buy some bagels. Bagels. Now my dad, you know, he does wear a hearing aid, he's not got the best hearing, and he came back from the shop with bacon. Now I'm a pronunciation teacher, I can kind of understand they both have the A sound, bagels, bacon, but I still don't know how that happened. Anyway, he came back with bacon. So they started arguing, you know, oh, I told you to get bagels, why did you get bacon? Oh no, you said bacon. And maybe my mum would say, you know, why are we even arguing? You started this. And then he would say, oh, I tell you what, it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. It takes two to argue. The final one I'll chuck in there, you know, I've already mentioned this, but this thing on my finger is because I'm now married. We have tied the knot. We've tied the knot. To tie the knot is another way of saying to get married. So there we go, we finished on a happy note. Hopefully you've learned a new idiom today, hopefully you had some fun, and hopefully you're going to hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the lesson. If you don't, it's fine, no problem at all. And of course, if you want to learn British pronunciation with me, and also some idioms and expressions along the way, you can join my course at etjenglish.com. I can work with you on accent reduction, sounding more like a native, and of course, working on more of a British sounding accent like mine. That's my job, I'm a pronunciation teacher. Head down to etjenglish.com if that's what you'd like to do, and I can't wait to meet you. Thanks very much for watching today, guys. It's been a pleasure as always. Love you all, take care, cheers, bye.